Hi, I am SynthNails. Today I will be showing you how I charm my nails up. I first saw this style of nail via Charmed by Sarah, a very talented and amazing nail artist from New York City. She is the pioneer of this very opulent and ornamented type of nail art, of which I am obviously a fan. I will be prepping the nail with Medusa Nails Performance Base Coat. As its name suggests, it will improve the performance of the jar gels by letting them glide on smoothly. For this nail design, I will be starting up with a jar gel by Riccagel. The color is 050M. I will link all the products used, if available, on the description below. Some of these products you can find on Amazon besides the base, stop, and colors. The rhinestones and builder gels I did purchase from Amazon. Going back to the coating, I essentially start by grabbing a bead of the color onto my brush. I then press it down onto the tip from the middle and drag it down. Once that is done, I will be working my way up to the cuticle area. I proceed this way so that I can deposit most of the color onto the middle and tip of the nail rather than the cuticle. This prevents flooding. I will be coating 3 times in total for this base coat, as it is a see-through French color. I decided to go for this particular gel despite its sheerness due to the shade. I found it very flattering, and I would dare to say that it is my favorite nude so far. I also like building up sheer colors rather than using opaque creme gels because I can control the amount of nail that shows underneath, and I personally think that charmed nails look rather elegant when some of the natural nail underneath shows. Most of the gel polish layers that I show in this video are cured for 30 seconds under a 120 watt nail lamp. You can find a whole range of them on Amazon. I like the strength of LED since it ensures the gel will cure properly and it can potentially save you curing time with certain brands. Though I will say, Riccagel and Presto, I do have to cure for 60 or even 90 seconds. I think that formula really needs a long time under the lamp to really cure, because otherwise it can bleed under a top coat. I can afford to cure Medusa nails though, for 30 seconds only under my lamp, and other brands as well. I believe OPI and Makartt can also be cured for that amount of time under a 120 watt nail lamp. I will then grab Queens Only by Medusa Nails. This color I find is very see-through as well, and if you don't work it enough, it can be a little bit streaky. But as you can see throughout this video, I will be applying several coats of it to serve as my base coat for the later Amethyst color by the same brand. This design is very simple. Essentially, we're drawing 2 half circles, one by the cuticle and one by the tip. You will fill them in until opaque and then add the glitter gel on top. I will do also 3 coats of that glitter. That is just me though, and my preference. I think it allows the lines to have a more defined and sharper edge. So while we paint these nails, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my channel and myself. I'm 22 years old and I love doing nails. I started doing nails when I was 20. I'm going to be 23 this year, so it's almost gonna be 3 years now from when I started doing nails, and I started sculpting them because my nails are so short and brittle naturally. No matter what supplement I take, no matter what I do with my nails, no matter how gentle I am, they bend. They just don't hold, and they will never get long. At least not as long as I want them to be. So I decided to start sculpting them with gel, and I got better and better month after month. Of course, the first nails I ever did were terrible. I don't think I'm the best at doing nails right now either, but you know, a lot of people ask me how I do them, so I decided to create this channel so I can document my nails, because I'm gonna do them anyway. I'm gonna be doing nail designs anyway on tips because I find it fun. So why not just record it and share it to the world? So every time I do nails, you're gonna be able to see it here. And if you would like to tag along and see what I do, you're always welcome. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just coating the circle for the second time. And as you can see, the color is a little bit patchy. I don't really like this color a lot. This was the first time I ever used it. I thought it was going to be very nice for this design because I really wanted to do a purple amethyst background with the gems I just got in the mail, and well, I didn't get a nice surprise. But you know, I'm just showing you that anything can, you know, be used and you can get anything to work. It's just gonna take you a little bit more time. You're gonna see me do 3 coats on each half circle for this color, Queens Only. Don't recommend it. Probably was a bad batch. This came packaged on Medusa's prior packaging, so maybe it was a bad batch. I'm not sure. This is the third coat, and you can still see some patchiness, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna be covering up with amethyst, which is actually a very nice gel. I still go and do 3 coats on top because I'm extra and because I want more definition. And yeah, so I'm going to be letting you see each time you see a new layer of color on. So essentially, whenever the color doesn't blend into each other, or my brush actually deposits more color instead of spreading it, that's a new layer. And essentially, I just want to make clear that I have cured it for 30 seconds beforehand on my LED lamp. Like I mentioned before, mine is 120 watts. You don't have to go for that high of a wattage, um, but I recommend it because it's going to ensure that you can cure essentially any gel you want. And also, the gel that I used before, I cured for 60 seconds each layer because um, I wanted to ensure it was cured. It's a jar gel, so and it's also Japanese. I find that Japanese gels need a longer time to cure. So Riccagel, this time I cured for 60 seconds. Here you see my, I believe, third layer of color. Should be the final layer. And it's still patchy. I'm just going around the edges to see if I can clean up the shape, how I was mentioning. I don't have the best steady hand ever, but like you see here, you can always clean up your errors or mistakes by going around over with the gel and just spreading it a little bit. Now I cured it for other 30 seconds, and now I'm going on with amethyst. As you can see, it's such a nicer color. It's more opaque. You can see the metallic effect off the bat, and I really like it, but um, now as you can see, I'm going over the edges again just to define them more, and also afterwards I'm just brushing over the gel so I can get rid of any strokes that are visible. Also, please excuse my thumb. For some reason, my thumb has very dry cuticles. No matter what I do, um, after a bit, they're going to look like that, no matter how much I manicure them. So I'm just leaving them alone and let them rest, because maybe the reason as to why they're that way is because I was a little bit rough with them. So I'm just letting my cuticles rest so they can heal a little bit. And so, sorry for the crustiness. I'll apply more oil next time before I shoot a video. Look at that beautiful payoff. That is such a beautiful finish. I had never seen a metallic gel as this one before. I used Fir Tree by Medusa as well on one of my recent nail sets. You can find that one on Instagram. Um, it is one of the charmed ones. I believe it was the third one I ever uploaded. I got a lot of compliments on that one. I really liked it. Now here you can see that the nail is ready to cure, and I cured it again, and now this is the second layer on amethyst. And it's the same procedure over and over. You're gonna see me essentially paint on, redefine the edges, and then paint on. And then now we can go down and do the top circle. That's funny. Now we go down the nail to do the top circle because the nail's upside down. LMAO. Anyway, so we go up and then we sketch out the top circle. As you can see me here, this is not, I don't have the best line art skills. As you can see here, I just focus on the outer edge of the line that I'm creating, if that makes sense. So that will be the actual line, and then I just fill it in. Another trick that I have for you guys is, even if you still have a wobbly line, what you can do is you can grab a clean brush. Do not damp it with alcohol because it's going to cause the gel to dilute and it's going to make it bleed and it's going to make it worse. So essentially just grab a clean brush and go around the line and clean it out that way. Just sculpt almost the nail line that you want, and that's gonna help you. After that, I'm going to go and I'm going to apply the second layer of Queens Only on the top or bottom circle, whatever you want to call it, depending on the shot that you're seeing on the screen. Essentially, since this is a tip, this is technically the top circle, so I'm gonna refer to it that way. So we're gonna go on the top circle for the second time, and like I said before, and again, like you saw before, we're just going to work those streaks by going over and over them again. So essentially we're aiming to redistribute the pigment on the gel by brushing over it. Now we cure for another 30 seconds and we go over for the third time. This time should be the final. I'm not sure if I went 4 times even on the top row, because as you can see, it's not even making a difference, but we will see. And once again, we're defining the corners or the edges of the circle and then dragging down to lay down the pigment particles. We're gonna do that until we are satisfied with the level of opacity of this particular layer. Now we cure and finally apply the first layer of amethyst. Now we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to curve around the curve that is already there in order to define the outline, and then we're going to drag down vertically and then proceed to do so on the other side, just sharpening down that line and then just dragging in downwards so we can distribute the pigment. And as you can see, it's such a better coverage already. It's much darker, much opaque. And then after we do that, we just go around the line, check it from the top view, turn the nail over, and we can just check the symmetry of the circle. I mean, oval, half oval, however you would like to call this shape. And check every angle. Don't be afraid to turn the nail. These gels, especially the jarred ones, are controlled gels, so they should not be bleeding on you. Now, if you're using bottle gels, I would say act a little bit more quick. Like, try to act quicker so we avoid any pooling and any bleeding. Or what you can also do is make sure you use very thin layers. Now we're going to grab our builder gel brush, and essentially we're going to grab a bead and make sure that we spread over the entire nail, just to ensure even coverage. As you can see, this gel is so much more viscous and thicker. You can even see the strokes of the brush when you press on it. And like you saw me on this video, I included it because it's the most real footage I can show you. If you see a hair on your brush, take it off. Now, grab a base without curing. I use a Makartt one, and brush it over the uncured gel. This is just going to fusion out the hard gel with the base coat. It's going to apply more adhesion, and also it's going to make the hard gel a little bit more smooth. As you can see, the hard gel is no longer showing the strokes from the pressure of the brush. And then after we're done with that, we're going to add a dollop of our hard gel again in the middle, or wherever you want to place your gem. I wanted to start by placing the gel rather on the middle because I wanted to put the gemstone there, but then I changed my mind and you're gonna see it on the video. It's not a big deal. We just want to add a little bit of a sphere in the middle by moving our brush in circles. Now I'm going to add a kite shaped gemstone in the middle, and I'm going to use tweezers, or these Are these called tweezers? Let me know below. I'm not sure what this tool is called. I believe they are tweezers, but they're meant to grab stones or small parts with them. I don't think you could ever pluck your eyebrows with these, so I'm not sure if they're also called tweezers. But anyway, we moved them down. I wanted to put them in the middle or just put them down on the bottom like that, but then I realized I wanted to do a little bit of a more ornamented, medieval looking nail. And so I decided to put it right on the bottom of the top half circle, and now I was trying out a little bit more golden charms, so I decided to go for these triangular ones. They're very long triangles, and so I decided to put them by the base of the stone. I'm using the tweezers again to put them really flush to the angles of the stone on the bottom, just to sort of make the effect as if the stone was nested and resting on it, you know, as if they were prongs perhaps on a jewel or on a piece of jewelry. And then I'm just moving around, and you're gonna see me do this a lot because when it comes to jewel placement, you have to be very precise. Now we're going to move and put those golden beads at the base of the stone, and then we're gonna apply another dollop of gel to mirror this design. And so those beads, those golden beads, are going to act as a anchor, I guess, for the stone to rest, as if it was like the joint of a staff almost. My husband said that's what it looked like, and it really does. I'm not gonna deny it. Now we're going to put a big dollop of gel, and on top of it we're going to rest our second stone, and we want to really sink it in there so it will hold it. That's the secret of keeping your jewels on. You want there to be hard gel that the actual gem sinks into. So there will be no air pockets, there will be no uncovered crevices, and the stone will be secured onto the plastic because gel is essentially plastic. Now after we mimic and make sure that these parts are mirroring each other, so essentially what we're doing now is we're just mirroring the ornament on the top, on the part below, and we're always going to be adjusting the beads, so we don't have to make any major adjustments in the end because gravity is going to be anyway affecting our design until we cure it. Then after we're done with the placement and you're happy with your ornaments, you're just gonna put it in the lamp for 30 seconds and you're gonna cure it, and it will harden, and then you won't have to worry about them moving. They're locked in. And then all you will need to do is put top coat over the gold pieces so they don't tarnish, because of course they're cheap. You don't want them, they're not real gold, they're not going to last forever unless you protect them. Water will remove the gold coat on them, so you want to really make sure that you go over the entire gold charm with top coat so it won't get washed out. And then once you're done with that covering, you're just going to turn the nail upside down. You will see later on the video, and it will create a pulling effect. The gravity will pull down the top coat and it will create a nice even surface over the charms and the nail. And that will be it. The part that takes the longest on this design is essentially the design itself, the circles and the polishing, because of the gel not being very opaque, but depending on what you use that will vary. And yeah, all these pieces from Amazon are very inexpensive, especially the charms. Now when it comes to stones, I would say these larger pieces, they're not going to be cheap. Unfortunately, they're going to be around the $20 price mark. And for nail stones, these are expensive because you can get the same amount of round stones for $9. You can even get a package of 1,000 for 10, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to leave all the information with accuracy on the description below. But anyway, this is the finished result. You can see how shiny it is, and that will be it. If you would like to see more designs from me in the future, please do not hesitate to stay tuned because I'm going to be making these videos weekly. And if you were to be interested in any of the designs I'm showing you on screen right now, please don't hesitate to let me know because I'll be definitely be able to make a tutorial on them. Wherever you're watching, I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!